Welcome back to the channel. Marvel's effdash here with effdashtv. Today we're talking Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. If you've been watching the channel for a bit, you know that I absolutely love the Marvel Ultimate Alliance series, especially 1 and 2. I mean, the only ones that exist. With special shoutouts to X-Men Legends 1 and 2 as well. I love those. Way back when Ultimate Alliance 3 was announced exclusively for Nintendo Switch, I secretly hoped that it would one day come to PlayStation. Yet that never happened. So, thanks to some very kind friends, I acquired a Switch, and $80 later, I had Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 with all the DLC. Now, during this time, I unfortunately was about to go through a difficult health situation. One day during my treatment, I decided to try some Ultimate Alliance 3. This ended up being a huge mistake. You see, the medications I was given made me very dizzy, but also very nauseous, and overall I just felt horrible. Sadly, this became the default feeling whenever I looked at Ultimate Alliance 3 for the longest time. I honestly just couldn't touch it for more than a few minutes at a time. When I was able to stomach it, I couldn't help but feel like something was off with this game. I wasn't enjoying myself like I did with the previous games. What was it? The characters? The graphics? The buttons? Actually, turns out it was the difficulty. This game was hard. Difficulty and Ultimate Alliance honestly never really went hand in hand, so this was a totally new experience for me. Now, there are a few reasons why I felt this was much harder than the previous games. First, your bench characters do not passively level up in this game. Instead, you have to level them up with XP cubes. So honestly, this hugely disincentivizes you from trying out new characters because you probably won't have the cubes to level them up. Although on the other hand, every new character that you do unlock will be leveled up, at least to where you are, or about where you are. So you can switch out to them to try them, but anybody you kind of left behind is left behind. Second, this game has a dedicated dodge button that I was straight up ignoring. Turns out, this button is basically mandatory for survival. Dodging has iframes that allow you to get out of the way of potentially dangerous situations, and so once I started utilizing it, as the game intended, the difficulty actually seemed to even out a bit. Third, the game has expanded on the idea of synergy attacks from previous games, wherein two characters combine their special attacks. Synergy attacks are nothing new, but they're different here in that you actually control them, and you can do them as needed. And needed they are. You see, important enemies have a red life bar, but they also have a purple stagger bar. Using your specials on an enemy with a full stagger bar will cause barely any damage, but will deplete the stagger bar. So when you use synergy attacks, those will deal additional damage from both. So you're incentivized to use synergy attacks to deplete the stagger bar, then use another synergy attack to stun the enemy so that the stagger bar does not regenerate as quickly. This is then the time to use any ultimate attacks you have stored. And this honestly is the basic gameplay loop of Ultimate Alliance 3 that I'm only just now starting to realize and utilize. This is of course to say nothing about the lab, which has Alliance and ISO upgrades that seem to require a PhD to properly decipher. So many thanks to those who came before me and created numerous handy guides for me to follow. And this brings me to my last point. Playing the story actually is not the best place to level up. You see, during your time in the story, you're going to come across rifts, which are various trials that you can undertake, like defeating a boss or bosses in a certain amount of time, maybe a solo adventure, or even defeating a set number of enemies. And these battles reward you with tons of credits, tokens, XP, and some even unlock additional characters or costumes. So I went into this game thinking that because I've played the previous games, right, and I've mastered them, that I knew what I was getting myself into. And my mind frame was very narrow. I wanted it to be what came before, and I honestly did not allow the game to show me who it really was until very, very recently. This game is still hard, don't get me wrong, but it is way more fun now that I understand what it wants me to do.
Oh my god. I get it.
I've also recently unlocked my two favorite X-Men, Cyclops and Gambit, so I'm currently having honestly the time of my life. I'm really glad that the game never gave up on me. If you've played Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, or hey, you're currently playing, I would love to do some online co-op, so please leave your friend code below. Keep it locked here for more Ultimate Alliance videos, and on behalf of the crew here at effdashtv, thank you so much for watching. My name is effdash. See you next time. Take it easy.